Hello everyone, we're going to take a quick first look at the Kromog encounter in the Blackrock Foundry. As with all of our beta previews, everything we say is based on early testing experiences and is subject to change before launch. The Kromog encounter is highly reminiscent of the Kologarn fight in Ulduar. The boss is stationary and your raid spends the majority of the encounter avoiding various ground effects. So let's quickly look at the abilities. There are two abilities that the tanks have to deal with. The first of them is Warped Armor, a stacking tank debuff that reduces movement speed and increases physical damage taken. The second is Fists of Stone. This is an attack that deals a massive amount of damage split between the closest two targets within 15 yards, so these targets should always be the tanks. In addition to these abilities, Kromog has a series of attacks that he uses against the entire raid. The most important one of them is Thundering Blows. This is a raid-wide AoE attack that deals a massive amount of damage over a few seconds and also knocks targets up into the air. This attack is almost impossible to survive, but fortunately, another mechanic in the fight allows you to handle it with ease. Shortly before casting Thundering Blows, Kromog will cast Rune of the Grasping Hand. This will cause a large number of hands to appear on various locations on the ground. If a player stands on one of these hands, they are gripped, they become immobile, they take damage every second, but they are also effectively immune to Thundering Blows. They do not take physical damage and they cannot be knocked up into the air. The hands grip players indefinitely, and over time the damage that they deal will kill them, so players will have to make sure that they free one another from these hands as soon as possible. As you can see, the hands have health pools and they can be attacked and killed, so essentially, as soon as players are gripped, they need to start DPSing all of the hands so that immediately after Thundering Blows, everyone can be freed. It's also important to know that only one player can be gripped by one hand, so if two players go and stand on the same hand, one of them will not be gripped and they will probably die to Thundering Blows. Given that any one raid will probably have a number of players with immunities that allow them to survive Thundering Blows without being gripped, this should not be a problem. This is really the central mechanic around which the Kromog encounter revolves. In addition to this, there are a few other, less important mechanics. Reverberations causes these sort of sonic discs to move around the ground and deal damage to players who come in contact with them, and these just have to be avoided. Rippling Smash is an attack that deals damage in an area on the ground that players will have to avoid. Rune of the Crushing Earth causes two hands to appear from the ground and then a few seconds later slam together, dealing damage to anyone caught between them, and again, this is something players will have to avoid. Another ability is called Shattered Earth, and this deals nature damage to 4 random players and just needs to be healed through. Finally, when Kromog reaches 30% health, he goes into a frenzy, dealing increased damage and having increased attack speed. His abilities are also cast more frequently during this time. So this is really everything there is for the fight. The biggest challenge will probably be for raids to time breaking players out of the grasps quickly enough, and of course making sure that everyone does survive Thundering Blows to begin with. Aside from this, it just seems to be a simple matter of avoiding a lot of ground effects. As we come closer to Warlords of Draenor's release, you'll be able to find a detailed written guide for this boss on our website. Thank you for watching and good luck.